Some breaking news just coming out this morning on the arrival of a new reconciliation bill, which we're hearing is going to be released today. That is right, this is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now we had heard that this was going to be coming sometime this month from the rumors. However, sounds like parts are being released and sent to the Senate Parliamentarian for approval today. Take a look at these headlines coming out just a couple of hours ago. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senate Joe Manchin, they agree on a reconciliation bill. Now I'm gonna give you all the details what they're hearing is being released today. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on the revival of the Build Back Better bill say not so fast. It says we don't want you to pass this. This is not something that's going to be helping out the American people directly. It's going to be adding to the nation's debt and causing even more inflation. And if you plan to pass it through, well, some of the other bills that were going to have bipartisan support, we might not agree to them. So he's putting an ultimatum on the table for the Build Back Better bill, which is some coming back. I'm gonna get you guys all the details. Now also we're hearing that regardless of what happens with legislation in Congress, progressive Democrats, they're calling upon President Joe Biden to issue the laundry list of executive orders and executive actions to get things done before these midterm elections. And we heard a new one has been placed on the table. We're hearing millions and millions of people across the nation could be getting help out with these executive orders that they have added to the list. Now also I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into these articles and let you know the latest that's coming out today, the breaking news on the arrival of the stimulus reconciliation bill. Alright, so first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out this morning. I always cite my sources for you. Now the article says that Schumer mentioned they agree on a reconciliation bill, and it says Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer he is poised to submit a reconciliation bill to the Senate Parliamentarian on Wednesday. Today, according to Punchbowl News, the text of the new bill will reflect an agreement among all Senate Democrats on lowering prescription drug costs. So this is the section that has been approved and sent forward for approval from the Senate Parliamentarian. Now the deal is part of the larger Democratic project to potentially resurrect the Build Back Better bill. So this is just one portion of that bill they're trying to bring back. The massive spending bill championed by the Biden administration and follows weeks of conversations between Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin that had previously entered negotiations over the spending bill after the House of Representatives had passed it back in December, citing concerns over inflation, but expressing an interest in continuing to negotiate over some aspects of the bill. And you will recall that Democrats had originally wanted this to be $6 trillion, $7 trillion, $10 trillion in additional spending to have recurring monthly checks to Social Security increases, enhancing and extending unemployment benefits that came to an end last year. Also, they wanted to wipe out student loan debt, child tax credits. It's an assortment of different provisions that have all been cut down because moderate Democrats in the Senate, such as Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, have said they're concerned about adding debt and causing more inflation. Those concerns seem to be accurate now as we are at a 41-year high inflation. So that bill has been cut down significantly. Now we're hearing though that regardless of whatever passed through this Build Back Better bill, whatever provisions get included, but Democrats, if you missed my last video, they're preparing a laundry list of executive actions for the president to take it right after this bill passed. Now reading on it says Schumer and Manchin agreed upon bill must still undergo a bloodbath through a review process to ensure that it's consistent with the sentence. Reconciliation rules as only certain provisions can get passed through the process of reconciliation. Now, if approval goes through reconciliation by the parliamentarian and then it passes, both chambers of Congress, and the bill would allow Medicare to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies starting in 2023 and cap out-of-pocket costs for Medicare patients at $2,000 per year. Among other provisions, it would also impose an inflation rebate policy, mandating drug companies pay back consumers if they raise their prices above inflation. According to Punchbowl News, now other aspects include the original text of the Build Back Better bill pertaining to climate change and tax reform. Now these are still being negotiated within the Democratic caucus, so there are other portions of this bill that are still in negotiations that are likely going to be hitting the parliamentarian here very soon. Now, Senator Manchin has long advocated for proposals that would lower prescription drug costs for seniors, and his support for the proposal has never been in question, said Manchin's communication director. He's glad that all 50 Democrats agreed, so it sounds like this is on board to go through the process of reconciliation. Now, as I mentioned, though not so fast, a link in the description below, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on a revival of the Build Back Better bill. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is eager to get a reconciliation bill that both raises taxes and revives part of Joe Biden's Build Back Better scheme that is submitting initial languages for on the bill to the Senate parliamentarian this month, which we're just reading is today. Schumer hopes to convince Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema to back and support this bill. Health insurance companies are mobilizing DC with as demanding an extension of surprise-size Obamacare subsidies, which are now expected to be central part of the spending side of the reconciliation bill. Now, the tax side may be getting even worse with the potential inclusion of the carbon tariff. Now, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is playing hardball, and he told Schumer bluntly last week, "Take a look at this tweet. Let me be perfectly clear. There will be no bipartisan USICA as long as Democrats are pursuing a bipartisan reconciliation bill, saying, listen, you want to do all these other provisions and all these other things that we have said that we will support you, but we do not support the Build Back Better bill, and all of these things included is not going to directly help out anybody, and it's going to make our economy even worse. If you push it through without us, do not expect our support on these other items as well." Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So there you have it, you guys. That's the late breaking news that just came out. Now, of course, as always, as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to share with you here on the channel, keep you up to date, so you know what's happening with the Build Back Better reconciliation bill. If they agree, if the parliamentarian gets on board, what will make it, what won't, and what's to follow with executive orders, executive actions. We've got those midterm elections right around the corner, and Democrats, they're stretching to get things done, and we're going to be seeing what provisions make it and what promises are fulfilled. As we've heard the President Joe Biden say, $2,000 stimulus checks, Social Security increases, wiping out student loan debt, and a new one that just hit. Check out that video if you miss it. And you guys, I will keep you up to date on everything, and as always, thank you so much for joining me.